welcome to Gotham City tonight. I am Doell, and with me tonight is Alex. Alex,
How's
how's
it
everything
going,
going?
Ryan? It's
I'm
going
doing
great. It's good to be back after our little week off, and yeah,
I think we're going to end
back
up
at it.
just a heads up to everyone listening as well. I think that's something we might end up doing monthly, just taking one of the weeks off, just so the rest of us can recalibrate and catch up with real life deadlines and such.
We need to take some us time every now and then.
Right. See, since Alice is
Some
about to go on
time.
Alice is about to go on vacation overseas, which is why she's not here, because she's trying to get as much work done as she possibly can, so she doesn't have to do anything, while she's gone. So, so once again, Alice is out. She'll be back, and she'll be back next month. That's by the time it's next week is already the end of June, which is insane. But here we are. Here we are. Let's take a quick howdy do to the chat. And thank you everyone for being here and hanging out with us. We know there's other places you can be. And thank you for choosing us. And if you're here on the replay, thank you for deciding to choose to watch us at some point in time in your busy life. It's very much appreciated. So we hope you enjoy tonight. All right, we got Toy Geekosaurus. My boy, Johnny Cox. Stephen Lawrence is here. Andrew's Gatey's Toys. Be sure everyone goes checks out his Instagram. Go check out his YouTube channel. It's awesome. It's another one of those like, hey, did you know? Here's some cool facts about toys. Guess what? They're all about the women we never got in the 80s. And I think that's super important because it always felt like, I don't know about you, Alex. Did you ever feel like when they didn't release one of the main female characters, did you ever feel like your collection was just like incomplete?
Oh yeah. It's like, why even bother?
Right? That's how I feel about Toy Biz.
The whole crew.
When Toy Biz never made a Jubilee in that first, we didn't get one till Generation X. And by that time they were testing out weird styles. She has those big hands.
Yeah, no, and we really only got Phoenix. We didn't get Jean Grey. And I was just like, man, is this just never going to happen?
But the light up head was pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. It was pretty cool. All right. Skylar Davis, Bacon McShig, Dorlaxian, Shiny Plastic People. I'm so stoked to get Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on Switch. I already have an arcade stick, so I'm ready to take a ride. And man, once you hear that music, I'm like ready to fight every time. my favorite dude, Matt Bush. Thank you for being here. Honor you, 83. It always takes me a hot second to say that name correctly. My dude from high school, the Duke Moody Professor of Ricketts, Bionic Funk.
I think you mean Good Marrow, everyone, in honor of Marvel vs. Capcom.
Nice. Well played. I'm waiting. Hey, where's that Marvel legend, by the way?
Yeah, come on.
Long overdue. Come on, Ryan. Come on, Ryan and Dan and Dwight. Get it
Throw
together.
us a bone.
Nice. I was just thinking the same thing, and nice. That was good. All right. Deep Space Niner. How's everyone doing? And I think we've got Corn Killer Confusor, Gage Bullock, Quip with his yours, right? Cougar McGillicuddy, Luis Ballesteros. Hello from Mexico. Are you Alex? Are you a god? Are you?
Yes.
Right? Someone asked.
Supposed to say.
That's right. Right. Thank you for tuning in all the way from. That's it. Now we've hit the top 3 North American countries, correct?
Yeah.
Canada, States, Mexico.
Got the whole continent.
Except he's got way better food. I bet you he's eating like so good. Oh, I don't know if I like the name of this, but we're going to say it anyway. Rogue Killer is here as well. Right? So awesome. Cool. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being here, hanging out. Speaking of Rogue Killer, did you know that mine arrived? Not a rogue killer, but this killer rogue.
Woohoo! Nice.
Maybe I'll
do good.
Do I do big? Hang on. How do I do big here again? There we go. So let's take you through it. This is the Mondo limited edition rogue with the cool Sentinel base. Right? And that's the variant head, the winking head as well. Alex, you sculpted this.
And not to critique your pose here, but you gotta get those knee pads up. They gotta go. The top one's gotta go above the knee.
It's trying to go, but it keeps kind of sliding down. So I guess I'll
just
you know what?
Slide them up, push them up there.
I'll contact customer support. I'll get a new body. All right. It's like the knee pads won't stay up.
It's the knee pad loophole. It's built into the figure. If you're if you're savvy enough to. We both went winky face, Ryan.
Well, because first off, it's the rarer head. You only get one of them, right? You had to get the you had to be there. You had to be part of that first 5-minute crew to get it. And man, she is great. She is absolutely great.
You Dude, also if you push down the you can get her belt to kind of sit more askew, like on the show. I've seen some people kind of point out that they don't think it can do that, but if you just kind of, it's a soft material, so if you just kind of like push it down,
you give it
this is me push. Micromanaging how everyone chooses to pose their rogues.
Well, dude, you gave her such a fat ass that it's hard to like really kind of push it down on there. So
but and the other point, the knee pads, is I did kind of, so like her leg does kind of taper, like I kind of unnaturally tapered it so that to accommodate for the knee pads. So I'm like extra sensitive for those being in place. But
I get it. My apologies. My apologies.
As Alex. You were.
I'll get this fixed, but I'm also like super careful with it. So that's my other problem too. I feel like this has been I've been waiting for a figure this good of Rogue, and I'm scared that something's gonna pop or whatever. It's not. Hey, this figure is not cheap. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just gotta I take care of it.
Yeah, I have the same like mentality, because it's like, it's like I want to like mess around with it and stuff, but it's also it's like it's like my work, and like this is my like copy of it. I don't want to, like, if anything happened to it, I'd feel like really bad. So
yeah, I would. Yeah, same here. I would feel devastated, right? Like, so let's just get into it. Let's start off with the Mondo news, and the news that it was teased last week. It dropped yesterday. Big deal. Cyclops. As you can see, I have not refreshed it because I want everyone to think that the limited edition is still available. Guess what?
You're still living in that beautiful window of possibility.
It is. Unfortunately, I did not get this. I haven't even ordered a Cyclops yet. For all those who sit there going, Ryan can buy whatever he wants. He seems to be one of those rich folks. And I'm like, no, I can't. And this is the first thing to kind of take a hit in a while. So this is the Cyclops. Hopefully he doesn't sell out completely, but we'll see. I'm trying to also, like, if I start going down this route of completionist on Mondo X-Men, because like there's some Batman stuff I still want to get to, and I still have. It's just, dude, it's so much.
It's hard to collect multiple Mondo lines for sure. Like, we try to pace it. We try to like keep a good pace so that it's not too stressful on people's wallets per line. But if you're collecting Motu, Batman, and X-Men, it's like,
and Spider-Man was announced last year, so we know Spider-Man's coming, right? Like that's another one too. Like I'm gonna want that definitive Spider-Man. He's a little closer to my heart too, just because I work on some of those, and
it's true.
Right. So it's it is so much. Dude,
it's also an investment for the future for these exclusives, right? Like it's like if you decide a month from now that you don't want it, like, or you'd rather have something, because like then you can make a little profit, right?
That's I know, but I'm also terrible for selling things.
Yeah, same here. It's just I can't, it's hard.
Right? It's such a, but dude, who took the photos for these? Do you remember?
This is Posable Productions. Brandon. He did such an awesome job. Like the color. I love that he used those backgrounds that feel like they're from the animated series. Like
Yes, like this photo. I know it's so basic. He's just standing there, but
I
man,
love
this is
it.
like it's so good. It gives me the chills. This to me was the photo where I was like, I have to buy this, and then I was looking at like just the bank and,
Yeah.
and stuff, and I was like, god dang it, why did I do all this traveling?
Yeah. No,
Right.
I get it. I mean, but yeah, and Brandon, huge Cyclops fan. So he like just crushed it with these photos. Like you can tell the love for the character. I mean, look
Yeah.
at how like he just made him look so cool here. Like the way he's posed with the little like the like flash on the visor, like he gets it. Like Cyclops is cool.
It's so cool. And I think this is what I think this one's coming out at the appropriate time, because if you know, people have noticed it says X-Men 97 on all the logos. I'm going to ask you about that in a hot second, but I think what's great about like releasing him now is because X-Men 97 came out and it really showed people what Cyclops is to everyone else who reads comics and really knows Cyclops. They didn't just like watch X-Men 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Totally. Because and I feel like especially during like the Joss Whedon Astonishing X-Men run, it was like, yeah, Cyclops is the man. He's super cool. Like if you know the comics, you know that it's not just all about Wolverine. Like and you know that Cyclops isn't there just as like a foil to make Wolverine look even cooler, right? Like you know what he brings to the team and yeah, I mean, just to kind of wax poetic for a minute about Cyclops, just also his design, I think is so cool. He's such a perfect, like when you picture the X-Men, right? Like you picture Cyclops. He's the perfect leader for a team of like outlaw mutants, right? Like because he looks like a superhero. He's got all the primary colored costume, like it's almost like a Superman-esque appearance. But then he's got that visor blocking his eyes, and like we associate like mystery men, right? Like what are you like? The eyes are the windows to the soul, right? So it's like what are you hiding by covering them up? So like it gives him that little like element of mystery, little element of danger. You're like, oh, like yeah, the mutants.
But he's still a pretty boy.
Yeah.
But he still talks stern. Like he's got like. Yeah, he's like this really handsome man, but he's also like he's got this like energy about him that gives command.
But it's also like again, like the first time you see that character with the visor, like you're kind of used to seeing that with like sci-fi, like Alien, like it was used in sci-fi movies to make something feel alien because you like can't. So even though if it as human as it looks, if you can't see the eyes, it's like, so you're like, is he like a robot? And like, so I don't know, it's like just there's just something, it's a little extra thing to Cyclops' design that like makes him just a really unusual and cool superhero, I think.
Do you want to hear my take on his costume?
Yeah.
I feel like Cyclops has never had a bad costume. Like even if I go to like even year 1 X-Men Jack Kirby.
Oh yeah.
Like, or even when he joined up with Magneto and had like the X going across his face kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I love that Chris Bachalo design with the, I thought that was really cool.
And even his Age of Apocalypse design with the one eye, right?
And like, the long hair, yeah.
And the long hair. I feel like Cyclops has never had a bad design.
Yeah.
I
he's
think
cool.
He's cool. Let's just face it.
He's a cool guy.
Right? We love him. Hang on. I just want to get to some quick comments here, and then I'm going to ask you another. Dartharian, Kid Mondo Cyclops flash kick. I guess that's up to you and how you pose them. Quip with the props, the cell shading on Psych, Chef's kiss.
And shout out to Tom Ryzowski, who Zelu 1984, who has done a lot of our animated paint masters. Has done great stuff for our Batman, the animated series line. He painted Rogue and Gambit and Jubilee. Like he just
He gets it.
perfectly kind of captures that, and it's the exact colors from the show too. Like his ability to color match is also just phenomenal. And so I really love what he and Hector really worked on, sort of dialing in the shadows on because Cyclops, one of the cool things about his costume is it has these like heavy black shadows, and it kind of feels more like a shiny blue material as a result. And they want to find that balance of like the making it feel like the 92 version, but also kind of working with the 97 look too.
It worked out really, really well. Like Topher Khan agreeing with me here. Spider-Man is going to be my third Mondo, 1/6 line. Going to be expensive. Yeah, save the monies. Put the bunnies aside. Let's put it this way: if you put $20 aside a week in a jar, by the time Spider-Man comes out, you'll have not just all of the money, or maybe pretty close, maybe half. We don't know when it's getting released, but I bet you now, if you put $20 a week away for that Spider-Man, that's what I need to start doing. That's what I should have done with this. I should be listening to my own advice. That's what needs to happen. I need to have a Mondo jar where it's just $20 a week.
Pretend it's like another streaming service that you subscribe. It's just like,
that's what I was thinking.
It's the collector fund.
Yeah, my Mondo jar. I think that would be perfect. Quip is saying, Nightcrawler when? Finish up the line from the X-Men Sega Genesis game.
I love Nightcrawler is my favorite comic book X-Men.
Yeah,
and obviously in 97 he's the best. Like he's so cool. They perfectly nailed him on that show.
God, they were so good. King Panther, thank you for being here, hanging out. Alex, now that all the X-Men figures have been available for pre-order, can you confirm at San Diego that new figs will be revealed? And Captain America is my all-time fave, just a wish. Or there's going to be new figures being revealed at San Diego? Is that something we can say?
New Mondo figures. Like,
okay, so there'll be
will
new
reveal
Mondo
new
figures.
stuff, but I'm not gonna say specifically.
Well, let's put it this way, folks. There's going to be a Mondo panel, so everyone should just tune into that, and then we'll see. Because you got to remember, Mondo is now doing Turtles. In Chicago there was a real Ghostbusters tease. There's been probably Thundercats was teased as well. There's X-Men. There's Batman the animated series. There might be some more kaiju and Sofubi goodness. You guys are busy, man.
There's a lot of stuff. So yeah, just stay tuned for San Diego. It's gonna be crazy.
Right. It's going to be bonkers, right? Yeah, here, Johnny Cog. Yeah, the X-Visor was sweet. Bacon McShig, X-Factor Psych is great, right? Oh, Honor You 83, Phoenix Force Cyclops costume was okay, I'll give you that.
The helmet was cool. It was like
the helmet was cool.
Like a bird helmet.
Right? So it's just Justin Mohan, thank you for being here. It's too bad the edition with the jacket sold out. They sell out quick now. We can officially say that people are aware that Mondo exists.
This one, it didn't, luckily you had a little bit more time. It sold, Rogue was
But Rogue was limited to 1,000. This one was limited to 1,500.
1,500. And that gave you a nice 20-minute window for him. But yeah, I mean, it's the nature of something being limited is that people are going to miss out. But we tried it. We want to make people happy, at the end of the day. So we're always thinking about, ways to improve the experience and everything.
As great as the jacket is, and it is great, I just want to point that out. It's also like, you take a look at these shots, even without, I think this head is exclusive.
Yeah,
that was a bad example. I think that those I-beams are also exclusive. I think that's
the super long optic blast is exclusive, but he does come with two other the shorter blast, and then the multi
blast one, which is also super cool.
So my friend Corey pointed out, possibly a hack here, which is, I mean, it's not as ideal. But if you buy the regular Cyclops and then get like a a soft goods 1/6 scale bomber jacket.
Mhm.
Just glue some X patches on there, and that you can put that on them, and
The way
then
you
you got your. It's not the sculpted perfectly cartoon accurate jacket, but like I mean, I'm just saying, like you can put a jacket on this Cyclops.
he,
Not impossible.
though I do like this "you win" pose from Cyclops
Yeah.
from the Capcom games. That was pretty good.
Yeah, so Posable Productions, which give him a follow on Instagram if you're not already following him, especially if you love X-Men animated, Batman the animated series. He does these amazing Batman the animated series recreations with actually I think to get super geeky, I think there's he uses one of the TMS explosions from Batman the animated series behind one of the pictures of the Sentinel heads in here.
Okay,
But
this is a great shot too. These straight on shots with that eye glint with the eye glint,
yeah,
so good.
I'm really glad we were able to get. I'm really glad that what we were able to do with the optic blasts, because I think they all work pretty well, and it represents the range of his powers there.
This is a great shot too.
Yeah, the fist bump. Yeah, Brandon, kudos, man. And also he's a huge Marvel versus Capcom fan as well, so threw in tons of little nods to that.
You see it. You see it in all the photos. It's like that's that there too. Like that's his standing pose. Like when you just stand still. I think he's a little more crouched in the game, but the arms are in the correct place for Marvel versus Capcom.
Yeah.
Right.
And Hector and I wanted to kind of play into that very muscular Cyclops, like the in the original cartoon, like, just really have that like 90s super buff Jim Lee physique that he had,
Yeah, I love this photo too.
Yeah.
God damn it, Logan. Why do you like
chewing
this?
out?
Yeah. Suck it, Slim. I don't got time. I don't got time.
Talk to the hand.
Yeah, like this.
Talk to the hand, bub.
Again, so dude, these are so good. Okay. This is great. The other one is still available. Is this a timed edition, or is this when
this is this is just available.
Is just available. Oh, because the other ones are too. Why am I asking that? This is Attack Peter didn't design this. This isn't going to be one of those time specials. Again, right? Free shipping to United States, Canada, UK, the expanded universe, right? They're all free shipping. Payment plans are available
MCU.
as well. Maybe I should take the MCU.
And this version does come with the coffee cup. So you can have him drinking his morning coffee, which every team leader is gonna need.
Hey, have you thought about doing? I know you mentioned it, like we were kind of joking around with an accessory pack. Is that is that possible?
I don't know, but I would love to do it. I have like a list in my head of like a running list of like, oh, we should have put that. Okay, that like if we ever do an accessory set, I've got like ideas. But
right, because I was thinking too, like even the coffee cups with the X on it from X-Men '97, because everyone has a coffee at some point in that show.
So we I mean, we weren't privy to those kind of details from the new show, but this almost timed, like the show had started to air, like when we were finalizing this figure and stuff at the factory. And I like quickly like whipped up one of those mugs. I'm like, can we slip this in? And it was the window was closed. It was too late. But yeah, I have modeled one of those mugs, and who knows? Someone might come with it at some point.
While there's more to go. I mean, like, if we're just in that X-Men cartoon lineup as is, there's still Storm, there's still Morph, right?
There's a ton, yeah.
And Beast,
Jean Grey.
Beast has me scared because again, he's going to be a big boy. But I look forward to that limited to 1500 edition with the lab coat. I'm just
Or what
making
about
things
the
up.
Howard the Duck T-shirt?
Oh my God. Why didn't I? Yeah, good call. That's a good call. Right. That's super. That is awesome. Dude, again, congratulations on the sellout on the limited edition one.
Thanks, and thanks to everyone for the support. Like, you know, obviously this line means a lot to me. It's awesome that, you know, the X-Men are having such a moment, and you know that it really feels like they're back. You know, and yeah, and I'm you know, I'm just so happy that, you know, that I get to work on these figures and stuff. So
right. Well, this is a question which I don't think you can answer. To be honest, folks, we can't really answer. I don't think Alex can answer a lot of questions of what's coming. You're just going to have to hang tight. So,
yeah.
But we won't say this is a question. We'll say this is more as a request.
Well, real quick, like just on that point, tune into Hector and Peter are doing a toy talk tomorrow, talking about Cyclops and other projects. So that is the opportunity to like watch that stream, post your questions. I mean, I can look at some of these questions here, but like like definitely tune in tomorrow night when they do the toy talk on Mondo's YouTube channel, and definitely post your questions to them.
Yeah, I found out that I'm too close to all of you, so even if I do the trivia correctly, because they do trivia for free figures, by the way. And I found out that even if I did win, I still don't win. Justin Bohan.
I've got some super hard Cyclops trivia, by the way, that I'll give to Hector and Peter. I don't know if they'll use them, but yeah.
But that's awesome, though. Okay, Justin Bohan, the question that I have is, will the TMNT Safooby stuff get repaints? That's what I want to know for SDCC. I think it will. I could see black and white repaints as comic homages.
It'd be awesome.
That would be cool, right?
Again, it is a big part of Safooby, like repaints and variants. Like that's, you know, that's an exclusive variants. Like that's a major part of the Safooby world. And we do it for our Godzilla, our Toho Safooby, and Ein from Cowboy Bebop and stuff. So
I'm going to say this is also a request from Johnny Cock. He wants a Jean Grey that comes with a swappable pregnant torso. Well, okay. Allison Troy is here as well. Thank you, Allison Troy. Please check out all her research on display on Toy Geeks podcast with Dan Larson and Geek Dad Jay.
And special guest Ryan Doell from this episode from 2 days ago. I listened to it. It was awesome.
Did you hear my my Buzz Off pitch for my Buzz Off spinoff series?
Yes, that sounds great. With the rock on band, like that.
Yeah, they're a band.
Yeah, I'd watch that in a heartbeat.
And he keeps saying "Rock on."
I think you fixed the Rock Lords.
I think so. I totally think I did too. Kick Bathor, Alex, if you ever care to make Ryan Doell, that's me, cry tears of joy, then convince the Mondo team to do an Alpha Flight Team 1/6. Would look awesome, by the way.
Could you imagine correct. Sasquatch?
Dude,
maybe
I imagine
a Sasquatch Puck 2-pack.
There's a point in time between like 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. every day where I think to myself how badly I would love to have a 1/6 Sasquatch. Yeah. Right? Or Wendigo.
Oh yeah.
Wendigo would be great too. Right? I would
I mean, that recreate that comic with Wolverine and Nightcrawler fighting Wendigo.
Yeah. Dude, that is like one of my favorite issues. Like it's a 2-parter. It is like one of my favorite like 2-parters ever. It's got everything I need in it. Nightcrawler.
It's got the Hudson's
Wolverine.
Kitchen.
It's got the
like the way John Byrne draws their kitchen is like so good.
Oh man, if only he could draw kids as good as he draws kitchens. Like, God, I don't have it near me. I thought I had it near me. I have a couple issues of Alpha Flight that I love. We should do
just
a breakdown.
Handy? Is that a Canadian thing that you always have?
Well, clearly they're not handy.
Alpha Flight on hand.
They're clearly not handy. Hang on, maybe it is. Hang on. We're gonna talk about, but hang on, we are at some point tonight. We are gonna. I swear we're gonna get to it. We're gonna talk about the Superman casting news as well. Hang on, let's see if I've got it. Oh, I do. Hang on. They are nearby. They are just underneath me. That's all. Why would they be underneath me? I've got a big stack of comics just near me at all times. Okay, there we go. Alpha Flight. Guest starring Wolverine, Alpha Flight, Doctor Doom.
Alpha Flight to me, as a kid, when I first discovered them, they were such like an exotic team. I was like, oh, who are these superheroes? Like when I was a kid, I was like always on the hunt for like obscure superheroes that weren't like, mainstream, and Alpha Flight like totally fit that bill. I was like, this is Snowbird. Like that's crazy. She's almost like Storm, but she turns into animals.
So I have this wonderful issue number 26 of Alpha Flight, John Byrne era.
Defeated.
Guess where they got their asses kicked?
Where?
In West Edmonton Mall.
Oh.
So big Alpha Flight battle in the mall. The biggest mall of North America at said time.
Just to prove that they're mutants. Every mutant has to have a fight in a mall at some point.
It's got to be the rule. But I think this is even before fighting in malls was cool. Right? Like it's at some point they're fighting a Transformer. At some
By
point
the way,
here
nowadays malls have become so kind of like vacant ghost towns. Like, they do seem kind of dangerous.
Right? So they drew there's the exterior, West Edmonton Mall, right? And there they are in like the fairground.
Man.
And stuff. It had me like nostalgic because it was a big deal. If you got to go visit West Edmonton Mall in the 80s and 90s, it was a big deal. I'm like, there they are, even at the comic shop. That was in the mall.
Are those wow. Man, I love anytime, especially in the John Byrne books, anytime there's like a spinner rack of magazines or comics, it's just like, because he fills in every one,
right? Hang on. So Johnny Cock is from Dedmonton, and that's their 15-minute drive. So you could be part of history right now. Yeah, and that's where Bionic Funk's living now too. I'm just gonna out everyone where they live, by the way. If you're in this chat and I know where you live, if you live in Edmonton, I'm outing you. That's just how it goes.
All right, I'm gonna pitch Marvel a X book or a mutant book. It's a team of mutants, and their headquarters are in the mall, and all of their adventures take place in this mall.
That would be amazing.
They never, it's just like everything happens there. They're constantly getting, it's kind of like Paul Blart Mall Cop meets Cable.
I like it. That would actually be that sounds like a lot of fun. See, all right, let's get into Superman. I want to talk about Superman. This news came out a couple weeks ago, but we've been so busy trying to catch up with so much other stuff. But I didn't want this to kind of just go by because I like talking about one of my favorite things about Superman, which is the Daily Planet. I think it's got a very he's like Superman. I think just like Spider-Man, I feel he also has a very great supporting cast.
Yes.
Of just regular human characters. I still put Jimmy Olsen in that, even though he's had so much weird shit happen to him over the years. I still see that, he's that regular everyday dude. But they cast
and sometimes a giant turtle.
Sometimes a giant turtle. He's been a kaiju. Hey, where's that Safubi? Right? Let's get that one going. All right. So we've got two new characters from so one is Kat Grant was casted. Kat Grant, for those of you who don't know, she is the entertainment news analyst. Is that the best way to put it? She's the TMZ of the Daily Planet and Metropolis, always trying to get the dirt.
I thought she was a Spider-Man character. I'm confused. I'm mixing
You're
my
mixing up
news.
with Betty Brant.
Betty Brant. Yeah.
You mix it up, Betty
No,
Brant.
there's another. Yeah, maybe. She sounds like she should be a Spider-Man supporting cast.
Right. Sounds like she could be. But yes, I do not know how to pronounce this name. I'm going to say it's Michaela.
Yeah, Michaela
Hoover. Right? She does a lot of small roles in other James Gunn stuff. So she's had appearances in the Suicide Squad, all the Guardians movies. She's either been a voice for something, or she's been like the collector's
pink alien girl.
Correct. Yes. Like that. So that's kind of what we'll all kind of know her from. But she's going to be playing Cat Grant. And I think this is really exciting for her to finally kind of like land a slightly bigger role, but just watch. We'll find out she's got one line.
For now.
For now. Yeah, that's, but Cat Grant, I'm stoked that she's there. She's always kind of been one of those characters that butts heads with Lois Lane in The Office. What happens when you get two alpha women in the room at the same, or just two alphas? Didn't have to say women. Just when you get two alphas in the room, they're gonna butt heads, and that's what these two are. So this is again, I think this is a good casting. I'm down. I'm excited. I'm excited for this as well. For anyone who doesn't know, another character that got announced as well. He doesn't have any photos. He's got one credit to his name and IMDb. So I don't even have any photos to show you, but I can show you who he's playing. So it is Christopher McDonald, and it's not the Christopher McDonald you're thinking.
Yeah, from Thelma and Louise.
From Thelma and Louise,
and like a million other things.
Police Academy, gosh, you name it, right? He's been in everything. So it's not him. So even when I Googled it right away, I was like, a couple weeks ago, I was like, oh, I wonder if he's going to be playing Steve Lombard, because he would make a great Steve Lombard.
Yeah,
for those who don't know who Steve Lombard is at the Daily Planet, he is your sports analyst. He's your sports columnist. He is your jockey, misogynistic douche in the office.
Toupee wearing. Yeah, if anyone here has not read All-Star Superman by Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely, you must. But also he's really entertaining in it.
he's in a lot of different things too. I think he's been in the Man of Steel series with more John Byrne, folks. I think so. He's been talking. So I think appeared in that. He's like Lois and Clark, New Adventures of Superman. He's kind of been all over the place. But this Christopher McDonald, he goes under, I think it's Mr. Christopher McDonald. I'm glad, because James Gunn actually tagged him in his Instagram, and I was like, oh, okay, that's who he is. And get this, he gave me a follow back today. I followed him on Instagram. He gave me a follow back. So maybe nice. I might have to slip into his DMs and see if he ever wants to come on after this movie comes out.
Yeah. Maybe see some Ryan Doell in the Daily Planet walking around back there at some point.
I think Gotham, we would do the Gotham column, the Gotham news column in Daily Planet. That's what I'd be there for.
Yeah, does Gotham doesn't really have like a newspaper,
Gotham Gazette.
Like Gotham Gazette? Oh, is that where Vicky Vale works?
That's where, I think Vicky Vale originally worked at the Daily Planet and then went to Gotham because there was more news and more because she's up against Clark Kent, and Lois Lane. Like, those two are a power duo couple, and they're kind of cheating in a way and getting the news. So they're getting the scoops for everybody. So I'm kind of so I can see where Vicky's probably just like, I am done with this town. I'm going to Gotham.
Yeah.
And everything seemed to turn out well for her, I guess. It's Gotham. What could go wrong? It's not as bad as they say in the news. Right. So we're going. I digest. We are.
Where were we?
Where were we? Right. So Christopher McDonald is going to be playing Ron Trope. Is that Trope or Troop? Trope, right?
Troupe?
Trope? Regardless, he's playing Ron. Right? And luckily too, James Gunn again put it in the hashtags. So it was so he did clarify who everyone is playing. So I think this is super cool. Again, Jerry Ordway, Tom Grummett. Tom Grummett to me is the outside. I would say Tom Grummett and Jose Luis Garcia Lopez are the Superman artists. When I think of Superman, that's who I think of. Is those two. And oh gosh, what's his name? Help me out. He also was part of Death of
Superman.
Oh my gosh. Someone in the chat. You'll know.
Tip of my tongue.
Oh my gosh. I even know what he looks like. Like I can picture his face from getting my book signed by him too.
It's because we're on the spot. We're blanking on the spot.
We are blanking on the spot. Someone here will know. I'm where is Zach?
I can't think of a single comic book artist at this point.
Dan
Jurgens.
All I had to do was say Zach, and Zach knew. Dan Jurgens? Yes, I do. Yes, right? Gamil's great too. Right? So again, he's playing Ron Trout, and he's another one of those reporters. It's kind of funny how I love how this fictional biography in Wikipedia, along with Cat Grant, he is one of the most enduring characters from the Daily Planet. So again, I can see why they would use him. And he's just another kind of like big time reporter. So he's he's right up there with Lois. He's not really competing with Lois. They don't really butt heads, but they're on that same level of being able to get the scoops, and he don't need no Superman, but he does play it safer than Lois Lane.
Have they ever done a Daily Planet comic, kind of the way they did like the GCPD comic?
Oh, that is a great question. Allison or Zach, if you know, I feel like one of you two would know, or even Davey Sockrocker's here too. He might know too. Let's see here. We got. Let's see here. I know there's been Lois Lane comics.
Yeah,
but I mean, like, let's see here. There had to be.
I keep thinking of that comic where it's like the Clayman cover with Lois Lane on the front. Is that a Daily Planet comic?
That was Lois Lane.
That was Lois Lane. Okay. It
was a Lois Lane miniseries. And I know exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. I knew exactly. Well, Lois Lane, for those who are new to this show, because early on when I started this show with Lexi, I talked very glowingly about Lois Lane. And she is one of my favorite characters in comic books.
Yeah.
Like, period. Like, I put her right up there with like Kitty Pryde and Nightcrawler and Dick Grayson. To me, she's one of the best. I wish she had that toy appeal, because she almost got her own line of toys as well at one point in the 80s. Like adventure fashion dolls is what I think they were going to end up being. Again, Allison Troy would know. She's very, very smart when it comes to this stuff. The Lois Lane to me is just like, she's such a badass and she's so cool.
Yeah. And she's funny. Like she's a funny character. There's like an emotional anchor. Like she's a very versatile character that goes way beyond like supporting cast, right?
Yeah,
and also like just think of like all the Margot Kidder stuff in the movies, like it's
where she can't spell.
Yeah, such a good character.
I like that too. Gage is asking, wasn't Lois Lane series called Superman's Girlfriend Lois Lane? The original was.
Yeah.
I got a lot of those comics too. I buy them for their questionable covers.
They're silly covers.
Yeah, they're you could tell they were written in the 60s, right? Where it's just like, I gotta make this meal or Superman won't love me.
I like the ones where she's like, I've got monster feet and I can't let anyone know. Like,
yeah, I like those ones. Or if I don't kill Superman, yeah, or vice versa.
Right. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I have one cover that just kills me where it's Superman laughing, watching Wonder Woman and Lois Lane fight over him. And it's just him
Yeah,
sitting there
Superman's
laughing,
always
enjoying
like
it.
a dick in the background. Like,
Yeah. Like, oh, good show, girls. Like, what are you doing, Superman? Right? It's hang on. Alice and Troy, during Superpowers, Lois Lane, Wonder Woman, and Supergirls were all considered for fashion dolls. And the original prototypes were mocked up with Kenner Glamour Gal figures. See?
oh wow.
She would know. Allison makes it her business to know these things, right? Like it is good.
I feel like if there was a Lois Lane figure, like you'd kind of want it to be in that like early 80s kind of like, she's got to be wearing like a vest at least, and like a professional attire like
Yeah, it needs a badge. You need a badge.
yeah.
Need a press badge. Gatie's Toys and Alice and Troy are both bringing up Sasha from Casualty Comics. By the way, if you're not subscribed to that channel, you should be subscribed to that channel because she doesn't really tackle the news per se. I wouldn't even say she tackles the news. She just talks about comics. It doesn't matter when they're from. She'll all of a sudden get like, hey, I'm going to do a month talking about Power Girl. I'm going to do a month talking about Lois Lane. I'm going to do and then she'll come back and forth. She talks about like Emperor Joker. She talks about older stuff, newer stuff. She's all like indies all over the place. She's amazing. Of course, she's Canadian. Of course. She is someone I should actually reach out to. I should see if she'll ever come on the show and just talk
awesome.
comics with us. I think she would be so much fun to have on. She's great. She is great. And her collection of wigs is spectacular. Some of the best you'll ever see in your life. All right. Okay. Do you have any last final thoughts on Daily Planet, Lois Lane?
No, but I can't wait to see it. And yeah, I feel like, I think it could be a spin-off, a show that is just takes place in the Daily Planet. I mean, I guess that's kind of Lois and Clark. I don't know. I think there's potential. I think there's enough of a good supporting cast there. And like, yeah, a newspaper in a city like Metropolis where crazy superhero stuff is happening all the time. Like, how is that not interesting?
Right? Yeah, I agree. I've always thought it should have like a almost Ally McBeal style show.
Yeah, that's a good.
Right?
Yeah, see,
I think that's
it's coming together.
See, Warner Brothers, call us.
Yeah.
We'll help out, but we should probably get some more women on the creative team if we're gonna be doing like Lois Lane and stuff. Because they always like, I found even now like Supergirl, they brought in Cat Grant, but then she wasn't like I don't know.
Oh yeah, people are saying it's Callista Flockhart played her.
Yeah, and Callista Flockhart played her.
Ally
That's
McBeal,
funny. There's my Ally McBeal tie-in. Jesus Christ, I didn't even. Nothing clicked. Nothing clicked. That is so funny. But it should be that. I kind of wish Supergirl started off so strong. Man, oh man. All right, we got to talk about this because we are at the 48-minute mark. We're gonna go over an hour, folks. We're gonna go over an hour.
It's gonna happen.
Right, hang on. I do want to point this one out too. Okay, we got Davey Sock Rocker. Thank you for being here, Davey. You're one of the best. A Superman animated series Lois with pen and pad with a baby Titano accessory. Great.
Yeah, that'd be sick. But which, I mean, obviously, I think most people would want the purple and white. But what about the red and black? Red jacket, black skirt.
Right, dude, all of it.
Where do you go?
Give me all of it. Give me all the. Give me. One of my favorite Lois Lanes is the one that came, the Mezco one that came with the Max Flesher set.
Yeah.
Like that's one of my favorite Loises.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great one.
I'm getting off this. Otherwise, I'm going to talk about Lois Lane forever. Yes, we digest. We need to talk about Marvel versus Capcom and its return. They're doing the arcade classics coming to your home consoles, all of them except for Xbox, apparently. So sorry for you Microsoft users. I find it really weird, but it's going to be on Steam, PS4. Don't worry, it'll work on your PS5, folks. PS5 is backwards compatible. They're just letting you know if you have a PS4 and you don't have a PS5 yet that you can play the game.
Much more efficient that way.
Wait, I agree. And they are Nintendo Switch. So it's going to be for, like I said, everything but the Xbox. I gotta. Oop, is it playing? Not playing. What do we got?
And I had just resolved, like, I just figured this would never happen because it hadn't happened yet. I was like, we're never gonna get these games again. There's something that is blocking it. But lo and behold, 2 days ago or yesterday, it feels like, when did this happen? Amazing.
Right?
The Capcom, Marvel, and X-Men games are back.
Are back. Hang on. Whoop.
Oh, I'm here too.
Yeah, you're here too. Okay. I was trying to do it so that maybe this was a little smaller, but this is okay.
So that, like, Spider-Man's kicking me in the face.
That's right. But like the fact that we're getting X-Men Children of the Atom back on home consoles, we haven't had that since the Dreamcast. I had a Dreamcast. I had Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for it, and that was the only one of the fighting games I had for it. And again, these have had re-releases, I think, back in the PS3, Xbox 360 era. So they did release Marvel Superheroes and Marvel vs. Capcom. Yeah, and Marvel vs. Capcom and Marvel vs. Capcom 2. But they did not release X-Men vs. Street Fighter or X-Men Children of the Atom, because at that time, of course, what was happening? Fox was making X-Men movies, and Disney said, hell no, you're not releasing anything with X-Men on it.
Wow.
So now we get everything back, including the Punisher side-scroller game.
Yeah.
This, I think, is super fun.
They're just making up for lost time with this. Like, you guys get everything.
Yeah, here you go. So our boss, I'm going to say our boss, Attack Peter. He had an idea.
Everyone's boss. First of all, I love this gallery. So good.
Good.
I love it when they do that.
Hang on. I'm gonna pause this for one quick second. God, look at that. Dan and Akuma. Doesn't get any better than that. All right. So you're talking about the gallery. Hang on. First off, we gotta mention what Peter was saying. I should finish that thought first. I should learn how to finish my thoughts. I need to get better at that. He had this awesome idea, and I kind of pitched it to a few other people. He wants to do an online tournament of toy tubers versus toy makers.
Oh shit.
And I think we should do it. Because then maybe I'll dust off this bad boy of my Marvel vs. Capcom fight stick. Oh, baby.
That is awesome.
Because I'm a real fan. And speaking of the gallery as well, did you ever get this?
No.
The official
not.
complete works. This is amazing, by the way. If anyone has this, a lot of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, because that's what was new at the time. But you get all like the cool character shots. You get all the there are sketches from Akiman in here as well, right? So if you like your sketch pads, that kind of stuff, should I make myself big for this? Hang on.
Yeah. Please, by all means.
Right. So we've got the.
Oh yeah, I love that store. So I reference the Capcom anatomy breakdowns all the time, like when I'm sculpting, like not in like a literal way, but just like the construction is so solid, and you can really you get a good sense of like how the muscles like intertwine. I always give it a little look while I'm working.
Plus, Akiman is great. He's
he's so good.
A legend.
I love that Children of the Atom, that like box art painting he did of all the X-Men where Colossus is holding up the big sentinel head. Like, that is just such a perfect, beautiful X-Men image.
Hang on,
there it is.
Look at it, right?
So good. Like, that's just that's the X-Men to me, you know.
I love it too. It is like you said, this is great, but I love that I already saw like when they were showing off the hey, we've got the gallery of never before seen things, and sure enough, they flashed on the screen like sketches I've never seen before. Right, and I was like, oh damn, they ain't lying.
Because those the Mega Man ones, like those collection galleries tend to be like really thorough. It's like every art image created for period, like it's just all there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and Bengus, the guy, he did a lot more of the later games stuff. Like, yeah, really cool art.
Yeah, good shout out there, Johnny. Good shout out, right?
Great Storm. Love the way they draw Storm.
Right. Topher Khan saying, this is my two current fave toy companies are giving me Mondo and Jada with all the damn MVC2 goodness. Well, even I know you didn't mention Hasbro, and I'm a bit of a shill for Hasbro sometimes because I think those guys are doing. I do think they're doing great stuff.
Oh yeah, and they're doing the Marvel versus Capcom thing. Like they're finding ways to sneak it in.
Right, with the Blackheart Build-A-Figure, I was like, oh man,
they know.
They're I think they're totally watching what Jada is doing, and I think vice versa. And I think, who knows? I know that people that work in the toy industry, I know that they did. I found out after doing Toy Anxiety, they all talk. So you never know who's actually talking and who isn't. But these are great. This is very exciting. I like this. Quick save. So this way, if you screw up, you can like I might screw this up.
I have a confession that I may as well make right now. I'm terrible at fighting games and terrible at Street Fighter and Capcom games in particular.
Are you a Mortal Kombat player?
No. I'm just that. Bloody Roar. I did okay with Bloody Roar back in the day, if you remember that one. But yeah, like I've been playing. I tried to play like the new Street Fighter or Street Fighter 5, and it's just it's sad.
Right, yeah.
But
Bacon
obviously,
Shuma Gorath Build-A-Fig would love that. Randall Guznik, thank you for being here. Feels like Gotham City has moved to the 616. We have not fully, but come on, man. There's too much cool stuff to talk about. We can't. I can't.
But can you imagine a Batman or just a DC versus Capcom?
I think we've all been wishing for that for a long time, or even just like a Capcom Marvel versus DC would be so good. And I know there's been mods.
Crossing three streams.
Yeah, right. Like it's just the mods. I've seen people do mods and stuff for it and all that kind of stuff, but it's always like with the sprites. I think it's amazing. But you were asking because you were saying you weren't good at these games. So, but I have to ask. Marvel versus Capcom, whether it was Children of the Atom, whoever, did you have any favorite characters you liked that you picked the most?
You know what? The other component to this is that I never had those games. Like I remember renting Children of the Atom at the video store. But it was like I never had a PlayStation at the time where it would have worked out, or like it's somehow like the closest I came to playing them was on an emulator, like many years ago. And that's like you're playing on your keyboard. It's just not ideal.
Right.
At least I found. But I just like loved the like art style of the game so much that like I just wanted to, and that was I think the only way I played Marvel versus Capcom, period. So I've never really, this will be like my first, I've just been waiting for this moment for so long for these games to just finally be like properly re-released so I can like really dig in. But yeah, I mean, like to answer your question, I remember Iceman. I liked Iceman quite a lot in the Children of the Atom.
Yep.
Psylocke.
I think we all us dudes played the Psylocke. At some point, we all did. Like, it's okay. It's okay. No one's judging. But I think we all did because she was a mainstay in all the games.
Oh
like
yeah,
her, Wolverine,
in fact,
Storm.
Hasbro, if you're sneaking in those Marvel versus Capcom characters, another Psylocke. We can always use another Psylocke.
We could. Oh, that's true. That's gonna be. You should make that shirt for San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Could always use another Psylocke. But Marvel, like, because for me, I was like, if it's the versus games, Ken, Chun-Li were probably two of my favorites out of the Capcom side. Trying to think if there was really anybody else I really enjoyed. Like Mega Man was fun, but he was tough to use. But on the Marvel side, man, give me Rogue, Gambit, Cyclops, like Marvel vs. Capcom. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Cable with that big gun.
Yeah.
Which was it was a cheat.
And what about Marrow? You could play as Marrow, right?
And Marrow was great. She looked great.
Crazy.
She looked so good in the game, right? Like it's yeah, she was awesome. Loved her. Or hang on, what do we got here? We got the Randall saying again, too bad Jada can't get the Marvel Street Fighter characters. Not yet. Not yet. And yes, Drolhaxian, Cable was stupid overpowered. Agreed.
Oh, do you think we could see like DLC characters for this? Like get like Jean Grey from the like ending movie and Beast and
I don't. But here's what I do think is going to happen. I think if this does well, because they actually, this is what I found out. They actually reinstated the Marvel vs. Capcom YouTube channel. Which usually means they're like clearly they're going to be using that channel to promote this game. We don't know when it's coming out. They just said sometime 2024. There's only 6 months left of the year, so it's going to be within the next 6 months. I think that next year we'll get an announcement for Marvel vs. Capcom 4. Infinite does not count.
God, could you imagine like the Street Fighter 5 graphics with Marvel vs. Capcom?
I could, but I don't want that.
Oh, okay.
I think Marvel versus like Street Fighter 5 and 6 to me, they're steering away from cartoony, and they're going to like look at how many hair follicles we can put on Ryu, right? So
yeah, well, six certainly. Like 5, I felt like still had like a good balance. 4, they felt like chunky. They felt like the Bengus art, you know. Like,
the big fists, the big feet, the big chests, right? Like that's what we want. I think 4 also nailed it. I think 4 was like, to me, that was like peak Street Fighter style.
Yeah, I didn't care for like the cell shading on that one.
Okay, that's fair.
But yeah, I mean, I think the character models and stuff were really good.
Right, but I'm with Quip on this. I would love it for them to just do 2D and just make them look cleaner and nice. I would love to have all of that. And I think even if they did it in 2D, it might be faster. I'm actually not sure. I know nothing about video games, and I have a feeling I know they take longer to make than movies. So we'll see what's going to happen with this. I'm hoping I am using the powers of David Cabal from the Toy Anxiety chat to pray and get us a Marvel vs. Capcom 4 proper. And I would love to see, again, just tons of characters, do DLC. I would still love to see characters like Nightcrawler get brought in the game. I know you're going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. I know we got Hawkeye and Iron Fist at one point. Howard the Duck, but I would love to see Luke Cage. Luke Cage would be great.
Oh, and you could call in Iron Fist, you know, like as you know, like some of them would have like their like sidekick that you could like call in. So
I think that would be awesome. I would love for that. Mystique is another one I'd love to see.
Changing into different characters. It'd probably be like like it's mostly like her gun, using guns and stuff, but like then you could like turn into Wolverine for a second.
Okay, keep Peter Parker, because Peter Parker is too iconic. You have to have him in the game. Plus, Japan loves Spider-Man. You cannot get rid of him. However, I would, because remember when they did 2 Wolverines in X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel versus Capcom 2, they did Bone Claw Wolverine and Adamantium Wolverine. So you had 2 different Wolverines to choose from.
Cool.
I want them to go that route, but I want them to either put in Miles Morales or Spider-Gwen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think you could just have them as, well, you could I think definitely like Miles Morales as a different character that has like,
yeah, he just plays different
has his
new
own
moves.
kind of unique move sets. I mean, but yeah, I mean Spider-Gwen too, like, that I think that those would be great characters to add.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think of anything from the Capcom side. I know there's tons of Capcom characters, like new characters from Street Fighter,
Right.
that they could put in. So, I mean, throw in any of those. Throw in Woodman from uh, Mega Man.
Oh
Put
yeah.
Woodman
Oh
in the
yeah.
game.
Yeah. Or any of the robot masters, like
Yeah,
uh
any of them,
throw
right?
in a
Cuts man,
Tron Bone or Trone Bone.
right? Yeah, right. Spider Punk, Davey Sockrocker saying Zach 2099. Again, there are so many that we could like. I'm trying to think of from Capcom as well. Like, I'm just trying to think of there's
Thor
new games
in
like.
did they do Thor in Marvel in
So
any
they
of the
eventually
games?
did Thor in Marvel versus Capcom 3. Like, they've got him in there. They've got X-23 in Marvel versus Capcom 3.
Oh right, but
I
that
think in that,
the whole aesthetic is like was very different by that
yeah.
point, right?
So like even then, I think these are characters that were in Infinite that nobody played. So I mean, bring in Captain Marvel or Ms. Marvel, whichever one, like both. Bring in both of those
Yeah.
characters. Bring in Black Panther. Bring in
Yeah. Oh
Namor.
yeah.
Right? I think Black Panther
Some of
would
the
be super.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, dude, yes, right. Nebula, she'd be great in a fighting game.
Deadpool. Has Deadpool been in any of them?
Yeah, he was in Marvel versus Capcom 3, but again, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Peggy Carter, great
yeah.
choice. And Sam Wilson, Captain America.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's or the Mighty Thor, like Jane Foster. Like I feel like there's a lot you can do. And now that Shang-Chi, I could see him being in there. Shang-Chi, did I pronounce that correct? I am so sorry. I'm very white. But if they I could see them bringing him in as well, because again, fighter, he's going to be in. I'm hoping he's going to be in more Marvel projects. She-Hulk was in Marvel versus Capcom 3. Bring her back. Kate Bishop would be another one I would put in.
Werewolf by Night, Thing.
Yes, Morbius,
Dracula.
Let's do it. Emma Frost, right? We love listing
Girl.
characters. Squirrel Girl's a great one. Yeah, Beautiful Joe. Would love to see that too. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of new characters from like Resident Evil. They could probably throw in.
Oh yeah, right. Like Resident Evil Village or
right. The Silver Surfer. Let's get Captain Commando and the Battle Circuit characters. I want Babyhead and Yellow Iris. Damn it, yeah. What is that? There was like a time game. God, what was that called? There was another fighting game that came out for Dreamcast. And I'm trying to remember. Hang on. I'm going to be right back. I just realized that my battery is about to die.
Oh, damn.
I will be right back, folks. Alex is going to entertain you.
Yeah.
With all his
let's get
whimsical
more suggestions. Darkstalkers. X-Men versus Darkstalkers. Or Marvel. Yeah, you could do Werewolf by Night. Dracula, Man-Thing versus the Darkstalkers. I think that would be cool. Has Ace Attorney, was he in Marvel versus Capcom 2? Again, I'm looking forward to like kind of diving into this game sort of for the first time, like properly. 1 second. I think I have a Darkstalkers art book. I thought I had my Darkstalkers art book handy. I don't. But yeah, tons of really cool art from Bengus and Akimon. Yeah, I love that art style. Phoenix Wright. I'm not Capcom. I don't know.
Objection.
Oh. Yeah, there you go. And that's got a new game too, right? On Switch.
That one's got a new game. I heard you.
Or it's like they're re-releasing the classic.
Yeah, as soon as I like went down, like took myself off the screen, I hear Darkstalkers, and I'm like, of course, more
Yeah.
of those, please. King Panther is correct on this one. I think Ryan was talking about a game on Dreamcast called Power Stone. Correct. It is a
Yeah.
gem of a game.
I
And it
know the
is
character
amazing.
designs. I don't know the game, but
The
I'm
gameplay
familiar
was
with.
so good. Was so good. I'm with Randall on this one. Underboob, Madeline Pryor, right? Versus Black Queen. For me. Come on, Capcom. Do it for me.
That's just for the good of humanity.
Yeah, it's gonna bring like Sydney Sweeney, it'll bring the world together. Right? I would like to see Kitty Pryde
Capcom versus Sydney Sweeney. Oh yeah, Kitty Pryde. I mean, that would be an awesome fighting character. Like the way her phasing powers could work would be really cool.
right? And she was trained by Wolverine. So
Yeah, and Ogun, like she has like martial arts ability.
Yes. And if they do alternate costumes like they do in the new in all the Street Fighter games, give me Logan, give me a Wolverine in his flannel, please.
Gold balls. I mean, I think I could see it in a fighting game, just spamming giant gold balls.
It would be just like Iceman. Ice ball. Yeah. Right? That's all it would be. Topher Con, magic. Yes. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's
and she could have Sim. She could bring in Sim as her like conjure demon.
What? No, that would be like her thing when you do your big special power move. Yeah. That's when she turns into like Dark Child and like summons a demon and like
yeah.
You could do
a bunch of demons. Like they just every demon from Limbo just like comes through a portal.
Right? This is
Bishop. Yes.
Bishop from Quip. I think that's a good call. I'm down with that. They should just you know what they should do? They should just use all black characters. Take out everyone else. Do Bishop, Miles, Sam Wilson, Storm, Luke Cage, right? Photon, Black, everyone from Wakanda. Bring them all in, right? Do all of that, right? And then let's see if they act like Star Wars fans. We'll find out. that is one way, right? A Night Thrasher, another great shout out too. He would be a cool one too. Rocket Racer, right? Yeah, Listing. I love Listing. I would love all of that. Yeah. Big Shake. Oh God. Imagine the comment section. Yeah, no, do it. Right?
Yeah.
Gatey's right. Moon Girl. Right? This is great. No, I like I said, like Marvel has so many they're superheroes. They're
War Machine,
villains, right?
Is War Machine he must have been in one of the games.
He was in Marvel versus Capcom 2. And I think he was in Marvel Superheroes versus Capcom. I'm certain he was in Marvel Superheroes versus Capcom. So I think he was in the early days of it.
Did War Machine have his own Capcom game? Or am maybe that's from an alternate reality or something.
Right?
Oh, Shard. Zach as Shard. Shard would be Bishop, great. Shard, teamwork.
It would be like when Sabretooth calls in oh God, Birdie.
Birdie.
He calls her. Actually, I like that too when you have like the Marvel characters teaming off screen with the Capcom characters.
Yeah. I love that Birdie is immortalized in a video game.
Yeah.
The most obscure reference.
King Panther, Kazar, and Zabu. Yeah, bring them all, right? Get Spike in there. Yeah, from X-Men Evolution.
Man, I'm surprised. Right? They've never done Spike in the comics, right?
Right. This Bacon McShig here. I think this is for you, Alex. You're probably thinking of Iron Man Exo Manowar.
Probably.
That could be it too. And that's funny. I was like, yeah, that could be it. All right. I think that's really it. I'm pretty excited about this. We're going to keep this. Yeah. We'll keep you all updated on our Marvel versus Capcom stuff because this is fun. I'm still hoping we get Injustice 3 at some point. Speaking of fighting games, that's the DC one.
Oh yeah, no, that was fun. That was a good. I got into that one a little bit.
I liked playing it. I hated the story, and I know so many people were like, "I love the story," and I was like, "I can do," and I think still at this point, I could just do with one less Superman if he was bad.
Yeah, I'm all good on that too. I
Right?
like it. I like the way they did it in the animated series, the Superman animated series.
Yeah, but
The
he
that
went on a road
alternate
to
world.
redemption after, right?
Yeah,
Like he was
yeah.
kind of doing that. And I think even with Injustice 2, I thought at one point that I was like, oh God, they're gonna like have him come back and like he's gonna beat the crap out of Brainiac. And I was like, oh, this is it. This is where he comes back. And then we'll have a good Superman and a good Wonder Woman, and everyone's best friends again. And I can't wait. And then they were like, nope, we're not going to give you that. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, all right, that's how we're going to do it. But I
Who do
love
I
the first
punch
game.
next? You
Yeah,
love the what?
I love the first two games. The first game I really love because you could choose the comic book accurate costumes.
Yeah.
Right. In the second one, they did this thing where you had to like unlock parts of costumes and they were randomized. So you couldn't like you could build your own Batman. I was like, I don't want to build my own Batman. I just want blue and gray Batman. I just want to like beat people up as blue and gray Batman.
Yeah.
And the game said, no, you can't. It was pretty much the Todd McFarlane of video games. That's pretty much what I got. Right. And
they were probably trying to do kind of a Fortnite loot. Was it loot boxes? Like, did you have
loot boxes were big. And it was like, and I
Yeah.
think they did the same thing for Mortal Kombat as well. And it was like, it always like, you could make some cool stuff. And I did have like, I would put it this way. It's not like I didn't have fun with it, but at the same time, I just wanted to play as like comic book accurate costumes. I just want that was it. And they had such a
I
good
feel like that they should always have that as an option with these games.
I agree. But they had both games had incredible rosters. Like they were both really good. And like all the DLC, like the DLC in Injustice 2, you could play as the Ninja Turtles.
Right.
Right. And I think Hellboy was another one.
Right.
That you could unlock as well. And I was like, this is great. As much as even I was like, God, they're wasting these spots on characters that aren't DC. There was one part of me that was like on the cusp of a sad comment, but then all of a sudden it was
Ambush Bug?
That's good. I was close, right? Like, trust me, I was getting there. But at the same time, I was like, I can't be mad at Hellboy. Like I'm getting to play I'm doing Hellboy versus Wonder Woman. Nothing is cooler than this right now.
Yeah.
Right. Supergirl was great. And then they did those alternate skins as well, where they became completely different characters with different voices. So like Green Lantern, you could unlock Jon Stewart and it was a different voice with different lines, with different costumes. And Supergirl, you could unlock Power Girl.
That's awesome.
And again, different voice, different lines. Do you? It's good to say. I think there's what was it? We were talking. This is definitely a Craig and Ryan Dole conversation. Because this was yesterday. Because I made a thing of like we should put Sydney Sweeney on every thumbnail.
Yeah, I saw
for Toy Anxiety leading up to San Diego Comic-Con for just no reason. And then I was like, man, do you know what? DC should just James Gunn should get her to play Power Girl. Like, just do it. You don't need to reply to that. No one in the chat needs to reply to that. I will cook. Let me cook for that one. All right. I can take the heat.
Wrong. But he's not wrong, folks.
Yeah, you can let me cook, but I think they should bring her in, right? Well, she isn't necessary, Davey. I know you're going with the window. We don't necessarily need it, but at the same time, kind of do. But we'll see. Well, it's not important. Yeah, again, just let me cook. It is fine. I'll take the heat on it. But right. But I don't know, man. I'm excited for everything coming out. Oh, one last thing I did want to bring up, and I know we're past the hour mark. That's a thing now on this show. But I'm going to keep it tight here. It was announced that Creature Commandos is coming out at the end of the year, and that's the first step to the James Gunn verse. So that's coming out, like, I think either November or December. So I'm just pointing that out there. So I guess, you know what? I know we haven't. Have you watched My Adventures of Superman season 2? Are you watching that?
No.
Okay.
I haven't finished season 1, but
okay. I think when the second season ends, that's when we're going to do. I want to do a review of it.
Cool.
Right. If you're not caught up, we'll do it on a week that you're like, this is my week off. I'm off, and I'll just do an extra stream that week, and I'll talk about My Adventures of Superman.
No, I'll binge it. If you know, I'll do an Alice. I'll binge. I'll catch up in a weekend.
Right. So it is great. And if you get anyone who's been watching season 2, spoiler alert, they bring in Supergirl. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. I really love My Adventures with Superman. It is so much fun. All right. With that said, we're going to end with that. Yeah. Creature Commandos coming soon.
Looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to that as well. I'm very excited. All right. Last things I'm going to plug again. The links for Cyclops are down in the description below. Alice's comic that she's totally breaking her back on, not literally, but she is working very, very hard on it right now as we speak. The links for that are also down below as well on webtoons.com, All Havens Academy. It is awesome. Again, don't use your browser for it. Use your phone or your iPad. That's what it's built for. And it's amazing. I love it. Woman's crazy talented. She is so insanely talented. You both are. I have imposter syndrome again. Had imposter syndrome on Toy Geeks, and now I have it again. God damn it. All right. With that said, Alex, anything left to plug?
Attack Peter's the Linocut version of his Creature from the Black Lagoon Sofubi goes for pre-order tomorrow. And it's my favorite version, the black and white, like super graphic. It looks just like his art. It's really awesome. And yeah, so keep an eye if you like Creature from the Black Lagoon and Sofubi and Attack Peter, keep an eye out for that tomorrow.
Yeah, nice. Good shout out. Good call on that. Awesome. So then we will see you next week. I'll see you on Toy Anxiety next week as well. And that will be it. Have a great night, everybody.